Thank you so much for joining us in this edition of Dalsan TV English News. My name is Abdulrazak Ali and we have a lot lined up for you on this day of 14th October 2022. But first, let's have a look at the highlights. A delegation led by Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre arrived in Addis Ababa. The United States has expressed concern about the arrest of head of the Somali Journalists Association. Welcome back to Dalsan TV English News. My name is Abdulrazak Ali. Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, who is on official visit to Addis Ababa, has met and congratulated Somalia Under-17 national football team that trounced Uganda to qualify for the Under-17 African Cup of Nations in Algeria. Somali Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, who is in Addis Ababa for official visit, has met and congratulated the Somali Under-17 national football team that trounced over Uganda to qualify for the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations 2023 in Algeria. The Premier held a meeting of encouragement and support for the Somali national football team Under-17, who have achieved historic victories in the Sekafa Zone competition. Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre praised the players of the team, their coach, and the officials of the Football Federation for the success they have achieved on behalf of Somalis and described it as a legacy. PM Hamza told the youth that all Somalis are looking forward to the final game, promising them a big surprise to be happy whether they win or not. Somalia's youth football team will face South Sudan in the final on Saturday. Al-Shabaab militant group has executed 6 men in Middle Juba's Sako district this week, accusing the men of spying.
Al-Shabaab publicly executed 6 men in Middle Juba Sako district this week after accusing the men of espionage. The Al-Shabaab group said the men were working on behalf of the American CIA. Hassan Mohammed Adan, 33, known as Mustaf, Abdulkader Mohammed Sheikh Ali, 23, known as Bule, Abdullahi Abdurrahman Ibrahim, 27, known as Dalmar, and Hassan Ali Haji Abdurrahman, 43, were executed by a firing squad in the center of the town as dozens of people watched. It is not clear if the men were Al-Shabaab members. Al-Shabaab regularly targets people that it believes are spies and executes them with little evidence after speedy show trials, often after deadly airstrikes or unsuccessful raids. The executions come weeks after the U.S. military successfully assassinated Abdullahi Nadir, one of the co-founders of the armed group Al-Shabaab, near the coastal town of Haramka. Nadir had been one of the 7 leaders on whom the United States had placed a bounty of $3 million for his capture.
Meanwhile, the United States has expressed concern over the arrest of Somali Journalist Syndicate Secretary General Abdallah Mu'min, who has advocated for press freedom and independent media in Somalia. The United States has expressed concern about the arrest of journalist Abdallah Ahmed Mu'min, who has advocated for press freedom and independent media in Somalia. The Ministry of Information accused him of violating a Ministry of Information regulation and disseminating CCTV footage. Abdallah Ahmed Mu'min, the Secretary General of Somali Journalist Syndicate, a local media watchdog based in Mogadishu, was detained on a security-related charge, the Somali Information Ministry said on Wednesday. In a statement, the ministry said Abdallah Mu'min has no charges related to his work as a journalist. The authorities on Wednesday detained Mu'min at the city's international airport, according to a statement issued by the group. He was immediately transferred to Gotka Jil'o, the notorious Nisa detention facility near the presidential palace. The national Under-17 teams of South Sudan and Somalia have qualified for the Total Energies Under-17 Cup of Nations.
The national Under-17 teams of South Sudan and Somalia have qualified for the Total Energies Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON 2023. Somalia booked the ticket fast after shocking the regional reigning champions Uganda 8-7 on penalties after 1-1 draw in the first semi-final in the qualifiers for the Council of East and Central Africa Football Association's Sekafa, played at the Debe Bikila Stadium in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on Wednesday. Uganda Cubs, who won the title in 2020 when the tournament was last held in Rwanda, took the lead after 41 minutes when defender Jamal Semogwere finished off a rebound past Somalia's goalkeeper Abdiqadir Mohamed. But after 2 minutes, Somalia's star player Abdihafid Abdi, who also scored in their 1-0 win against host Ethiopia in the group stage, leveled matters for his team. The two teams created several scoring chances in the second half, but failed to find the goals. But after 2 minutes, Somalia's star player Abdihafid Abdi, who also scored in their 1-0 win against hosts Ethiopia in the group stage, leveled matters for his team. The two teams created several scoring chances in the second half, but failed to find the goals. While all 8 Somalia players converted their penalties, Uganda's leading scorer in the tournament with 3 goals, Arafat Nkola, missed his penalty. I thank God for guiding us to the AFCON 2023. But we are still determined to win the title, said a happy Somalia coach Nur Muhammad Amin after the match. Hamuza Lutalo, the Uganda Cubs coach, said his team failed to utilize the many chances. With penalties, any team can win, added Lutalo. Yusuf Ahmed, the Somalia Football Federation SFF General Secretary, told CAF Online that they are happy to qualify for their first ever AFCON event. In the second semi-final, Jonathan Arjuang gave South Sudan the lead after 36 minutes with a well-placed shot past Tanzania's goalkeeper Alexander Mwakapambika. The Tanzania team continued to dominate play, but the South Sudan defending the line were up to the task. The two teams will now face off in the final on Saturday, while Uganda and Tanzania will face off to determine who finishes third and fourth.
The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia has said its component has developed the guidelines to assist the Somali police force in implementing community policing initiatives combating crime.
The Somali police has received support from African Union forces in Somalia to develop community policing guidelines to help combat crime and terrorism in the country. The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, ATMIS, police component has developed the guidelines to assist the Somali Police Force, SPF, in implementing community policing initiatives across Somalia. Police advisors from ATMIS presented the new standard operating procedures, SOPs, for community policing to Somali police commanders at the headquarters of the Somali Police Force in Mogadishu. ATMIS Deputy Coordinator of Police Reform, Senior Superintendent of Police SSP Alex Ndili, said the SOPs for community policing were developed jointly with the SPF Community Policing Directorate. The protocols outline the roles of various stakeholders in community policing, how to introduce community policing structures, formation of committees, and identifying community challenges. The Somali Police Commissioner Major General Abdi Hassan Mohamed Hijar thanked both ATMIS Police and the Somali Police Force for collaborating to develop guidelines.
We have come to the end of Dalsan TV English News. My name is Abdelrazak Ali. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dalsan TV.